Assalamu alaikum. The topic that we are going to discuss today is evils of dowry amongst Muslims. I'm sure most of you have watched my video on Mehr. Now that topic is completely different, and today what we are going to talk about is the tradition of dowry amongst Muslims. Dowry is supposed to be a gift from the parents to their daughter on the occasion of their marriage. Is it really a token of love and blessings? When you say it is a gift ever demanded? This is a tradition that is borrowed from the Hindu culture. This dowry is demanded by the boy's family. It could be large amounts of money, gold, cars, house, etc. Now this demand has to be fulfilled before marriage by the girl's family. Muslims in the subcontinent practice this dowry system, and it is also called as jahez or dahej by the Muslims, exactly like the Hindus. In Islam, there is no concept of dowry. Dowry is completely un-Islamic. Contrary to what Muslims practice, the practice of mahr. This is a token of love and appreciation given by the husband to his wife when completing a marriage contract, as a token of his love and honor to the woman. So these are two different, exactly opposite practices. The families of the groom demand money as an obligation, and this has to be completed by the girl's family before marriage. And this is just done by the girl's family to make sure that they find a well-settled boy for their daughter. But how did this practice of dowry start amongst Muslims? We as Muslims need to understand why dowry has filtered into the Muslim society. While we blame this practice among the Hindus and we borrow it from the Hindu culture, the real culprits are the Muslim nobility of India. The Muslim nobility practiced this looking at the Hindu culture. They would give their daughters a lot of land, cash, gold as a gift, but this moved to the common folks who practiced the same culture for their daughters, just to ensure that they find good husbands for their daughters. This, of course, it became rampant practice among Muslims. The Muslim scholars in the subcontinent condemned this act. They called it un-Islamic, but it still continued in the Muslim society. Many young girls remained unmarried. Many families continued to suffer. Most of the girls even suffered after marriage because the demands would continue. They were harassed for not bringing the dowry that was demanded by the groom's family. Either they were abandoned by the boy's family or by the boy. Now this act went a little further. In fact, girls were being burnt because they could not bring the dowry that was demanded by the family. Just let me give you one example. This was of course brought up in the media. This happened on September the 10th, 2006. A young girl named Tasneem Khanum was married to a boy called Muhammad Zafar. Now this girl was doused with kerosene and set ablaze for not bringing the car that was demanded by the family, but bringing a cheaper version of that car. Now, brothers and sisters, dowry is supposed to be a gift, but when a gift is demanded, it becomes a violence. Now, dowry was a form of a social system to give social security to the girl, but it became a burden on the parents when they could not fulfill it. It became so unbearable that some of the parents or the fathers would commit suicide because they could not meet the demands of the groom's family. Now, not meeting the demand of the groom's family put a lot of pressure on the girl, and she would not be happy in her marriage. Dowry system sets a price on the groom. It is just like when you go to buy something from the market. Now, the groom was priced based on his qualification, his occupation, and his earnings. Doctors, engineers, lawyers, accountants were usually the very sought after grooms. As they were the most sought after grooms, they would always demand a fat dowry. Now, the basic psychology always remained the same. May it be North America, may it be India, Pakistan, this was a very rampantly practiced tradition. Things have changed. Societies have changed. When Indian and Pakistani parents are looking for grooms, they're still looking for doctors, engineers, because these professions make more money. Now, I'm speaking in a tangent right now because can you say the girl would be happy with more money if the boy makes more money? But this is the psychology of the Pakistani and Indian Muslim parents. Does money really bring happiness to your child? This is a question that I would ask. Demands for dowry can go on for years to come. Even after the girl is married for several years, there can be times when dowry will still continue being asked from the groom's side or demanded from the groom's side. This could be on religious occasions. This could be on the birth of a child in the family. These are further requests of money, gold, and the inability of a parent to provide this dowry indirectly affects the girl's life. This girl could be treated like a pariah or an outcast in the family because she was not able to meet the demands of the family. In some cases, the wives are simply killed and a new financial transaction starts again. Sometimes they are given threats of a second marriage, that if you cannot bring in this demand of money, then we would have a second marriage. Now, this is a very, very shameful act, but it's a reality in the subcontinent. Muslims who are seeking material gratification through this act, we know that the society today is very materialistic. But this gratification of materialistic needs through the system of dowry is taking away Muslims from their iman and from their righteousness. This, I can assure you, where the Muslims have forgotten what they have learned in their Quran and in the Sunnah. They are moving away far from their deen. Many Muslim societies also practice this act of dowry. In fact, this is a very cruel custom practiced by many Muslim countries, a burden on the parents. Secondly, many young girls remain unmarried in our society because they could not fulfill this act of dowry. It is a painful act, but a very, very bitter reality for our families. Again, as I would always say, times have changed, societies have changed, but the basic psyche of people in this community has not changed. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, increase your knowledge of Islam, and I can assure you that you will move away from this shameful act of dowry. Follow the Quran and the Sunnah. Follow what was practiced by our Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Inshallah, if you do that, our future generations will benefit from this because you will no longer practice this shameful act. I hope you have benefited from my discussion today. Do not forget to press the bell icon and subscribe to my channel. Assalamu alaikum and have a blessed day.